Tonight, protocols are eased for the public transportation sector, allowing Vieux-Fort and Soufrière buses to travel to Castries during zoning. A young man is dead following an apparent drowning, and an expert panel offers critique and advice on the economy post-COVID-19. We have the details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Monday, the 27th of April, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We're on Flow, Channel 117. The broadcast is also being simulcast on Kiss FM and on our Caribbean Hot FM mobile app. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. Transport Minister Guy Joseph has announced that protocols for the public transportation sector have been adjusted. The number of passengers has moved from 7 to 9. The issue of traveling to and from the northern and southern zones has also been addressed on a phased approach. A limited number of buses will be allowed to traverse the Vieux-Fort to Castries route and Soufrière to Castries route. It comes as protocols governing the public transportation sector are relaxed slightly. Transport Minister Guy Joseph said the allowance was made to cater to workers of businesses that fall under the category of essential businesses at this time. The Prime Minister did announce on Sunday that the list of businesses has expanded to include private doctors' offices and clinics, fabric and haberdashery stores, and construction supply stores. Minister Joseph says proper documentation will be required to facilitate travel between the zones.
Because of the zones remaining in effect, we are going to allow a very limited number of these buses to begin operations. And I think that would take effect from tomorrow, that we are going to have a limited number of buses. I have been in discussions with the National Council as of earlier this morning. But the passengers who would be traveling, when they get to the checkpoints, they may be required to show. So if they're employed, let's say, on a construction site or with one of the manufacturers or in a business establishment, either in the south or in the north, depending on which way they commute in, they would have to show some documentation.
The number of passengers allowed on public transportation has also been adjusted from 7 to 9.
We agreed that with the CMO that the 9 is a more practical number because it allows 2 persons per seat and 1 in the front with the driver, so that the driver actually becomes the 10th person on the bus and 9 carrying passengers. That is the new protocol that we are going to be using for the public transport system. But the requirements remain that persons must have a mask, must sit at the ends of the seat, and the windows in the bus must remain open.
The National Council on Public Transportation, NCOPT, is working assiduously to get its southern drivers to resume duties, albeit within specified parameters. The announcement of the adjustment has come as a relief to many workers from the 2 zones who have had to make special arrangements to make it to work and back home. The minister cautions that there will be strict enforcement at checkpoints by police and that the curfew remains in effect. Police are investigating the suspected drowning of a young male in Vieux-Fort, according to leading firefighter Stacey Joseph. The incident occurred on Sunday afternoon on a beach near the Vieux-Fort dock.
On Sunday, 26th April, the Vieux-Fort Fire Station received a call at approximately 3:15 p.m. informing of a possible drowning near Moula Sheikh in Vieux-Fort. The responding officers found one male appearing in his 20s lying on the ground. An assessment revealed that the patient was unresponsive and had no vital signs. He was provided rapid emergency transportation to the St. Jude Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead by a medical practitioner.
Police have since identified the victim as 21-year-old Linus Charles of Bruceville, Vieux-Fort. The St. Lucia Fire Service has dismissed rumors claiming that a Sulphur Springs park in Soufriere was set ablaze over the weekend. Following speculation after a video of flames near the site was posted on social media, fire officials have clarified the situation, confirming that there was a blaze near the Superman waterfall. Upon arrival at Mont Souf, the firefighters observed it was a bushfire and encountered difficulties in accessing the blaze, hindering their efforts to extinguish the fire.
The Soufriere Fire Station responded to a call relating to a bushfire near the Sulphur Springs Park on Sunday, 26 April at approximately 7:20 p.m. Access to the fire by responding officers was impeded by the surrounding terrain and location. Given the consideration that there was no threat to life and property, the fire was left to self-extinguish.
Residents reported that the blaze continued throughout Monday, releasing large quantities of smoke into surrounding areas. No further interventions have been reported by the fire service. Director of International Trade Dr. Thomas Samuel, in a panel discussion on Sunday, indicated that in order for Caribbean countries, especially St. Lucia, given its peculiarities, to scale up after external shocks like COVID-19, the islands must boost and foster regional alliances. Dr. Samuel says small islands need to pool resources in order to build resilience. The impact of COVID-19 will, from all indications, be long-lasting. St. Lucia is a leading sector. Tourism has come to a standstill as the economic effects of COVID-19 are being felt globally. Director for International Trade, Dr. Thomas Samuel, in a panel discussion on the way forward for the country, given the repercussions of COVID-19, indicated that the forming of regional alliances or integration may be the best possible way forward for Caribbean countries, given the similar peculiarities that the countries of the region face.
We have a number of common challenges. Most of the islands have fiscal challenges, high indebtedness, slow rates of growth, high unemployment. That is almost a common sort of dashboard of macro picture that you can see.
Dr. Samuel indicated that a sure way of scaling up after facing such external shocks is through the pooling of resources.
And the best way to scale up would be through pooling and through integration. And that's why regional integration presents the best and most rational response for small states such as ours with our peculiarities to face global shocks.
The director stated that regional institutions need to act as a buffer for island states against external shocks. He also indicated that all eggs should never be placed in one basket.
There's a concept in economics called Dutch disease, where you have a sort of, you develop one sector and there is a commensurate decline, or you neglect other sectors. And we're not saying that is the case, but we're saying that there is need, from a survival standpoint, for strategic reasons, that we must, of necessity, have a more balanced economy that does not depend overly so on one, because of the likelihood of being exposed, as you used that word earlier on, to a shock like this. And that makes the case, what do we go into? Manufacturing presents perhaps one of the best options with agriculture.
In addition, he stated that food security is an issue that the Caribbean, especially St. Lucia, needs to address. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us. There's more coming up after the break.